Well, we're getting back to this generator. I got a new fuel outlet. We'll talk about this in a second. Now here's the old one. It's just an elbow. It does not have a shutoff or a filter. It may have had a filter in it, but it doesn't anymore. And it just goes into a hole here. There's a rubber grommet that would go in there. So I got a new kit, and this is a generic kit from Amazon. Now the size that this is for is a 33/64 hole, which is a 1/64 over a ½ inch. And here's the label, you know, typical generic label. It doesn't really tell you anything. But I just looked at the listing, and this does have an MTD part number attached to it. And the ones I looked at, they were all pretty much the same. Now this has a fuel shutoff valve here, which is pretty nice. I had to use pliers to get this open so I could actually turn it by hand. And the nice thing I liked about this, it does have a screen. Now we're probably still going to put a fuel filter under here, but this already has a screen, and it's a shutoff instead of just an elbow. You can get them any combination you want. There were ones that were just an elbow, like the original one. And here's it's a pretty generic grommet. You know, there's no barb here on the inside or anything. And I fit this in here, and it's a little snug. Now you got to push a little bit to get it up in there. And then we're going to put this up inside of it yet, and I'm going to spray this with silicone so it slides easier. And this is going to make it even tighter once we get this in there. And then there's a barb right here that's supposed to hold this in. So we're going to put this together. I'm not going to put a hose on it yet. I just want to put this in, and I'm going to put some gas in it to make sure it doesn't leak. So we got silicone on it, and we put it up in here. And luckily, it's not hard to get to. Just got to get in the right spot to put the right amount of pressure on it until it pops in, just like that. You probably heard that on the audio there. So now it's in there. It'd be nice if it stuck out a little bit farther, because it is a little bit hard to reach. Now maybe the owner won't use this shutoff valve because there is one on the carburetor, because it's a Honda engine. But if you do ever have to take the fuel line off or anything before the carburetor, at least now you'll be able to turn the gas off. So I'm going to put gas in it. I'm not going to hook up the fuel line yet. To do that, you really need to take the carburetor apart to get to where the fuel line connects. I just want to make sure that it's going to work back here. We already know it's going to run. We already started it. I'd really like to hook the gas line up, but it's a little too complicated to do that in a few minutes. So we're going to make sure it's not going to leak. Well, I don't see it dripping yet. I'll put some more in. Nothing yet. We'll open it for a second, and we have gas there. And we close it, and the gas stops. So we're going to let that sit, and hopefully when I come back in a day or two, the gas tank's not getting wet underneath here. Right now it looks pretty good, so we'll see. Hopefully it stays that way. We don't need this to be leaking. So we'll check back later. Alright, so we're getting back to this generator here. And we got the fuel outlet in there, and it's nice and dry. I checked. Sat overnight, like 24 hours now. It looks good. And the fuel hose goes up here onto the carburetor. So there's 3 screws to get this cover off. And since I got that all out of the way, I dropped the bowl down a little bit, and that went all over my hand. So it's probably a good bet that we are going to see if we can order a new carburetor. Because there's no sense in trying to clean that. Even with a sonic cleaner, there's no reason to even think about cleaning that. So this thing must have sat outside for a long time and got a lot of moisture in there. So now I get to look and see if I can find a carburetor for a GX340 11 horsepower Honda that's hopefully made for a generator that has this fuel valve on it right here. So that's where we're at now. So we will get back to this once I get a carburetor. Okay, so here we are on Amazon, and the bottom carburetor here is the one we need. And that's the only one that is listed when I looked up for a Wacker 5.6 generator. That's the only one that came up, and that one, the delivery's December 8th to the 18th, and right now it's November 22nd, so I guess they're saying it'll get here whenever it gets here. So let's see what else we can find. So the next thing I did was search for just the engine, which was the Honda GX340, and I found numerous carburetors for that, and most of them come like this with the air filter and the gaskets and some clamps. There was ones that came with spark plugs and fuel filters. I don't need all that. They're all in about this price range, and this is the one that I'm going to go with. So I'm going to order this. It'll be here in a couple days, and then we're going to put it on, and hopefully it runs the way it's supposed to. So you'll want to stay tuned and see how this turns out.